During this third video about Adobe Experience Design, we are going to download a tutorial file from Adobe's webpage, and we are going to use it to get to know better all of Adobe's features, functions, and tools. Until now, we have seen the basics of Adobe XD, so we've seen how to download the program, we've seen the work interface and also the welcome screen, and also some of the features and functions of Adobe XD. We have downloaded the UI kits and we've analyzed a real project made on Adobe Experience Design, and we've also seen that we can use the UI kits to get inspirations and also to get some icons, for example, for our own project. So the file that we are going to download today is not going to be used only in this video, but we are going to use it also in future videos. This is because this tutorial file has a step guide, and we are going to use it as a step ladder to our own tutorial, to our own personalized tutorial. In fact, we are going to use this file to get to know in a more specific way, step by step, all of Adobe's features, and we are going to know how to use every tool on Adobe XD. So, we are on the welcome screen of Adobe XD, and we will click now on Learn, and it will open this web page that we have already seen in the first video about Adobe XD. So we are going to click on the design card on Get Started, and it will open another web page. From here, we can download this tutorial file, so we can click on download. This tutorial comes with its own tutorials, its own video tutorials, but we are going to do our own personalized tutorial. We are going to use this file only to have the same file between us, so you can do the same thing that I do on the same file that I use, and also to have this step guide to follow this step ladder. So if you don't have a specific folder, I'll invite you to create a folder to extract these files on, and then when you have created your folder, you will click on this zip file. With the left side of your mouse, you will click on the file, and then with the right side of your mouse, you will open this options bar, and you will click on extract in a specific folder. So you will choose the folder that you selected, and now you will find in your folder the file that you have extracted. So you will click on it and it will open on Adobe Experience Design. Before we start to work on this file, I'm going to give to you some shortcuts that you can use to speed up your work on Adobe XD. So we have already seen how to do some kind of zooms with the view option. You can also do a zoom with this zoom icon, and you can also click on your keyboard on Ctrl minus to do a zoom out and on Ctrl plus to do a zoom in. But you can also keep two fingers on the trackpad of your computer and move them apart to do a zoom in and move them closer to do a zoom out. Also, if you select a specific area and you then click on Ctrl 3, you will do a zoom on the specific area that you have selected. We've also seen how to do a pan by keeping our finger on the mouse wheel and moving the mouse, and we can also do a vertical scrolling and an horizontal scrolling by keeping our two fingers on the trackpad and moving them in a vertical way to do a vertical scrolling and in a horizontal way to do an horizontal scrolling. So also, all of these tools have their own letter to do the shortcut. So if you want to activate the selection tool, you will click on the letter V of your keyboard. If you want to activate the rectangle, you will click on the letter R. If you want to activate the ellipse, on the letter E, the polygons on the letter Y, the line on the letter L, the pen on the letter P, the text on the letter T, and the artboard on the letter A. So we can go back with Ctrl Z and erase these changes. So now let's see this tutorial. It has these steps and these artboards. Of course, also these are artboards. And if we click on the layer icons, we can see how many layers this file has, and we can click on the layer and it will do a zoom on the layer that we have selected so we can see it from near. And if we click on this, it will select the elements of this layer. Of course, we can also hide the layers, lock them, and export them. So we can also change the positions of the layers by clicking on them and keeping our finger and moving them. And of course, we can also rename the layers and create new layers by adding new elements. So let's go on the first step, create and style an artboard. And we have this already created and styled artboard, and this tutorial probably lets you copy this artboard by giving you first all of the items to put on the artboard. What we are going to do is create an artboard, but we are going to talk about the colors and how to fill the artboard on Adobe XD. So for this tutorial, we will talk in a more specific way about the colors, the gradients, and how you can use some tools for the artboards. So, of course, we will create now an artboard with the Artboard tool, and we can see these lines. These lines are smart guides that will let us know that we are aligned with the artboard in our right side of the work area and the artboard below us. So we can click and create this artboard, we can move this, and now we want to create this artboard in a way that has the same dimensions of this other artboard. So we can click on this artboard, and we can see that its width is 414 and this height is 896. So we will click 414 for the width and 896 for the height. And now we have an artboard with the same dimensions. We can move the hatch lower. So now we have the same artboards. We can rename our lever artboard. And of course, now that we have created it, we can see it from here. This is our artboard. And if we click on here, it will zoom on the artboard that we have selected. So we will now talk about the colors of the artboard and how to fill our artboard with the colors that we want. So it is now filled with blank, so it is a white artboard. You can also make it transparent by clicking on this square, and you can click on this rectangle and change the color of your artboard. As you can see from down here, it has an hexadecimal code. This hex code is referred to the specific color, like this code, it's this specific color that you can see here. So, if you search on Google color selector, you will have this color selector, and it will give you some codes, and first of all, it will give you the X code. This is because if you are working, for example, with a brand which has a brand identity color, and you will work as a graphic designer for them, and you will have to use the color of their brand identity, they will have to give you the X code of the color that they use, so that you can use it not only on Adobe XD, but also with the other Adobe's programs. So, of course, if you select this code and you click on Ctrl C, and then you erase this and click on Ctrl V, you will have the same color that you see here. So, you can fill your artboard also with linear gradients, radial gradients, and also angular gradients. They are different, but it is the same concept. So, you can click on the line and select these points, and then you can change these colors and create your own gradient. Of course, you can also move the line, and you can also do a radial gradient, create a radial gradient, and clicking on these points to create your own gradient. And the same thing with the angular gradient, you can create other points, and with the angular gradient, you can move the points and the gradient, of course. So, let's go back to solid color. Of course, whenever we want, we can make the appearance transparent. And if you want to save, for example, this color, you will click on this plus and save this color, and you can use it for other projects. Last thing is this tool, Pick Color from Screen, and if you click on this tool, you can choose any color from here. So if you click on this color, your artboard will become of the same color that you have selected, and you can, of course, save this color. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions, you can ask them below this video or below other videos. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and we will see each other on the next video about Adobe Experience Design.